I consider myself a simple person when it comes to video games. I've played them all, AAA to niche indie, the goats and the woats, shooters, the whatever the fuck that is, and I'm to the point where you can just hand me a game, tell me it's good, or shit, at least tell me it's fun, and I'll probably enjoy it. But then there's these games. I really don't get it. There's people that will swear up and down that these games are perfection or masterpieces, shoot their own mother if they started talking shit about these games. And then I play them, and they just aren't even close to the hype. I actually have a couple of these games, too many to do in one video, so if you end up enjoying the video, and I don't know, like and subscribe, maybe I'll make a second video. We're gonna focus on 3 games a day. Each I feel isn't deserving of its praise, or at least isn't deserving of most of the praise that it gets. I'll save the other 2 for later because this one is going to get me killed the fastest. Fallout New Vegas. Oh Jesus, here we go. Let me start off by saying this is probably higher up on the list, the bottom being the dumbest shit that a lot of people like for some reason, and the top is more like, it's alright. I'll give this game some credit. The story is phenomenal. The characters are fantastically written, and the wide variety of endings and choices they make for a game this age is really something commendable from Obsidian. But that's where my praises end. Since I played it for the first time on my on-sale Blockbuster copy, which I still have, hard flex, I couldn't get into it. Which didn't make a whole lot of sense to me 13 years ago, because I played Fallout 3 and I love that fucking game. And still it doesn't make any sense to me, because I love Fallout 4. Not Fallout 76 though, I live in West Virginia and I hate that fucking game. But after many a sleepless night, I came to the realization on what the hell is the problem. Besides the fact of modern day, the game is dated over multiple reasons. Yellow piss filter on everything, AI jank, but that's just a Bethesda problem. And oh yeah, no sprinting, or fuck, at least a jog button would have been nice. Those drop small points, but my major gripe with the game, compared to the one before and after it, it's just too barren. And I get it, you're typing away on your keyboard, digital or not. Eli, it's a fucking desert. It's supposed to be barren, you actual red-pilled fucking basket case. I'm gonna stop you right there before you say some slurs and get yourself into trouble. I'm gonna say things that can be barren can still be fun to walk around in. Breath of the Wild, Red Dead Redemption 2, both of these games have massive sections, if not the whole game, where it's nothing but wilderness. And they feel great to go and explore every nook and cranny of the map. There's 2 massive things that both of these share: movement options and a sense of liveliness. Complex movement isn't necessary for some games, but in games where you're walking several minutes with nothing happening, there's nothing engaging happening, which makes me not want to play the game. So when the first thing that you do after leaving Good Springs is walk 4 minutes to the NCR base all the way over there, there's not a faster way to get there, nor is there anything happening between here and there. And don't tell me, oh, what about the powder gangers in the trailer or the gecko side mission? Firstly, nobody plays the gecko side mission. That thing's lame as hell. And second, every single time I boot up New Vegas, I go to the powder gangers in the trailer, I grab their dynamite, and I blow them the fuck up. That's all there is. It's fun, but it doesn't really make me want to keep playing the game. It's not interesting, and that's the problem. Sure, the writing pays off for sticking around, but if I have to spend 5 minutes walking between destinations with nothing between them to keep my 5-year-old brain occupied, then it might as well just be a giant mod pack for Desert Bus with some of the best writing of its console generation. Most of this could have been fixed with a simple sprint button that consumes your VAT bar, or being able to take a horse, or have somebody take you the main points of interest for caps straight out of the gate like in Skyrim. Just things that make it easier to visit locations, to have the option to fast travel, if you don't want to spend 5 minutes of your life watching sand hit you in the face while nothing happened. I just feel the payoff of the story isn't worth the slog to getting place to place to actually enjoy it. But I'm probably like one of the only people to say this, so maybe I'm just a big idiot baby who can't enjoy the nice desert atmosphere the devs worked out tirelessly, and to that, I say you're probably correct. Dark Souls 1. The more I sit here and write all this down for the script, the more wood I'm putting under myself to be burned at the stake. Let me start off by saying, like New Vegas, I actually enjoy the other games in the series. Dark Souls 3 is one of my favorite games ever made, and Elden Ring and Sekiro are both pretty damn fun as well. But I digress. What makes me despise this game but love the other games? To put it bluntly, a lot of small things added up over hours of playtime made my entire playthrough of Dark Souls 1 one of the most tedious, repetitive, and dated playthroughs of a game I have ever played. This game should be great. It should be. The starting area is fun and it teaches you the basics. Roll, parry, get hit by boulders. If you didn't get hit by the boulder without knowing it was there, comment down below so I can call you a liar and send you a ball. The Asylum Demon is one of my favorite Souls bosses just off of how iconic it is. But my problem really starts to arise once you appear at the Fire Link and subsequently the Undead Burg. While in later games like Dark Souls 3, enemy placement feels purposeful and having the player use their skills and wit to tackle the problem ahead. In Dark Souls 1, the enemies don't feel that way. The enemies in Dark Souls 1 don't feel like they were designed for a challenge or common sense in general. They feel cheap. Rats at the bottom of a ladder, an unreachable skeleton who throws bombs at you and stuns you while you're getting beat to death by more skeleton thing. A boss completely designed around some of the worst platforming in any game ever made. What the fuck was Barefoot Miyazaki smoking on when he made some of the choices for this game? It wasn't his first crack at this type of shit, so you think he would have planned this stuff out a bit better. The boss design in this game can go from some of the greatest in the franchise to some of the worst bosses in general. Same with level design. Let's take a look at, I don't know, Anor Londo. With by far my favorite design in the entire game, fights seem fair, the journey forward is fun and captivating, running along the giant trim and these gargantuan buildings and jumping from rooftop to rooftop while getting pelted by 50 cal bullets. It's fantastic. The knights you fight here are super cool, and the final boss of the area, well, there's plenty of videos talking about Ornstein and Smaug, and if you're watching this video, you probably already know how good they are, so I'm not going to talk about them. Now let's look at another area, my least favorite area in the entire series, Blighttown. This goddamn motherfucking piece of filth at the bottom of my favorite pair of Jordan 1s, the whole area was 100% made on purpose to be frustrating, and not in the sense of the challenging kind of frustrating. Blighttown feels like a Super Mario Maker troll level. The whole place is mapped out to be as confusing as possible to traverse. Enemies inflict a status effect that steals your health. Nice. You can fall and die super easily. Even better. And once you get down to the bottom, the whole place inflicts you with the same status effect from earlier. Fantastic. Just release the Game of the Year edition at this point. And there's multiple places like this in this game. The Crystal Place right before Seath with the invisible paths. Who fucking thought of that? If it wasn't for the community laying down the messages on the floor, I wouldn't have been able to figure that out by myself, and I guarantee most people couldn't figure that out. Well, yes, Dark Souls 3 has these areas. I'm pretty sure every Souls-like game does at this point. It's the overwhelming amount of trolly areas and cheap enemy spots that leave me more irritated at the game developers for putting them in the spot than I am at myself for sucking as bad as I do at these video games. My reasoning for all of this likely comes down to a skill issue. Doom 64. Out of all the games on this list, this one hurts me the most. Since I came out of my dad many years ago, I've loved Doom. From being terrified of the Cacodemon when I was a wee lad, to shitting my pants at the mirror jump scare in Doom 3 and never playing it again. To modern day Doom and Doom Eternal. Every single one that I've played, I love. And then this goddamn bastard got a re-release when Doom Eternal came out. I was fucking ecstatic. A retro Doom game that I haven't played before, sign me the fuck up, said me for 3 straight months before it came out. Then I bought it. And I didn't like it. I was devastated. How could a game so similar to all the other games in the series be something I hated? It shocked me for days after playing it. I tried to go back again and again and again. I would play this game for 2 hours or so and I just couldn't do it. But why? The movement and the gunplay. When you have as many hours in most of the games in the series like I do, then you understand how Doom's movement is supposed to feel. You can go from 1993 to Eternal, and one thing is always the same. You feel fast as fuck. Zipping around corners, flying through massive demon waves, These massive arenas the game is based around are the bread and butter of the Doom franchise, and they're present in Doom 64, but they're too tight. Being its first actual splash into 3D, the developer id Software was able to do something they haven't done before in a Doom game: verticality. Most of the arenas in Doom 64 have lifts like the previous game to take you up and down, to give the area you're fighting in some depth. You can only do so much with flat space and a bunch of pissed off demons spawn. Exploring the Y-axis adds a lot of variation for the player to experience, but they didn't take the most important thing into account: maneuverability. Most of the places you're fighting in are too tight to feel fast-paced. Doom's motto recently, as far as I can remember, has been keep moving or die. And that in one sentence portrays the main reason why I keep coming back to the series and other games like it. On top of that, while the sounds the guns make are relatively satisfying, they pale in comparison to the original and the reboots. The lack of animations as well on the guns leave much to be desired. I want to be able to feel the oomph these guns have, and this game just doesn't have what I want in a good Doom game. It just can't live up to my expectations, and that's what saddens me the most. The atmosphere is terrifying, the monsters are spooky, and the maps for what they are really well designed. The music, or lack thereof, really adds tension to what lurks there over every corner. But I don't want that in a Doom game. And while Doom 3 essentially did the same thing, Doom 64 is trying to be the predecessor to Doom and Doom 2, where Doom 3 is a reboot to a long dormant series. I think it's a great shooter, but a piss poor Doom game. The gaming world is filled with titles that are often hailed as perfect or masterpieces by passionate fans, but not every game lives up to the hype, at least for me. All three games we talked about have great potential, yet are hindered by obstacles that make it difficult to label them perfect, for me at least. Fallout New Vegas, a game known for its exceptional storytelling and character development, struggles with dated mechanics, barren environments, and subpar gunplay. The payoff of its story doesn't always seem worth the arduous journey between destinations. While some may cherish the desert atmosphere, others like myself may find it hard to stay engaged during those long walks. Dark Souls 1, a series known for its challenging gameplay and intricate level design. While other games in the series shine at that, the first Dark Souls game is marred by seemingly cheap enemy placement and trolley level design. It can be a tedious and repetitive experience, making it difficult to embrace the game's potential. Doom 64 brought disappointment to a passionate Doom fan. Despite the atmospheric horror elements and well-designed maps, it falls short in terms of movement speed and gunplay compared to the rest of the franchise. The tight spaces and lack of animation on weapons make it difficult to embrace the fast-paced action that the Doom games are known for. In the end, while these games have their merits and loyal followings, they also have their fair share of drawbacks. They might not be perfect, but still hold a special place in the gaming world, offering unique experiences and contributing to the diverse landscape of games. So while they might not attain perfection in my eyes, they're still worth exploring for those who are willing to navigate the hurdles and appreciate the strengths of the games. That's really all I have to say. This is where the script ends, so right now I'm just kind of freeballing it. If you guys enjoyed the video, you want to see more of it, make sure to like and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a good night. Adios.